Nahum chapters 1 to 3. Chapter 1. The vengeance of God. 1. The burden concerning Nineveh. The book of the vision of Nahum the Elkoshite. 2. God is jealous, and the Lord avenges, and is furious, the Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserves wrath for his enemies. The power of God. 3. The Lord is slow to anger, and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord has his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. 4. He rebukes the sea, and makes it dry, and dries up all the rivers. Bashan withers, and Carmel, and the flower of Lebanon fades. 5. The mountains quake before him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burned at his presence, yea, the world, and all that dwell in it. 6. Who can stand before his indignation? And who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. 7. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knows them that trust in him. 8. But with an overrunning flood he will make an utter end of its place, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. Destruction of Nineveh. 9. What do you imagine against the Lord? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time. 10. For while they are entangled together as thorns, and while they are drunk as drunkards, they shall be devoured as stubble fully dry. 11. There has one come out of you, that imagines evil against the Lord, a wicked counselor. 12. Thus says the Lord, though they be quiet, and likewise many, yet thus shall they be cut down, when he shall pass through. Though I have afflicted you, I will afflict you no more. 13. For now will I break his yoke from off you, and will burst your bonds asunder. 14. And the Lord has given a commandment concerning you. No more shall your name be perpetuated. Out of the house of your gods will I cut off the graven image and the molten image. I will make your grave, for you are vile. 15. Behold upon the mountains the feet of him that brings good tidings, that publishes peace. O Judah, keep your solemn feasts, perform your vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through you, he is utterly cut off. Chapter 2. Call to battle. 1. He that dashes in pieces has come up before your face. Keep the fortress, watch the road, make your flanks strong, fortify your power mightily. 2. For the Lord will restore the excellence of Jacob, as the excellence of Israel, for the plunderers have emptied them out, and marred their vine branches. Destruction of Nineveh. 3. The shield of his mighty men is made red, the valiant men are in scarlet, the chariots shall be with flaming torches in the day of his preparation, and the cypress trees shall be terribly shaken. 4. The chariots shall rage in the streets, they shall jostle one against another in the broad roads, they shall seem like torches, they shall run like lightning. 5. He shall recount his nobles, they shall stumble in their walk, they shall make haste to the wall, and the defense shall be prepared. 6. The gates of the rivers shall be opened, and the palace shall be dissolved. 7. It is decreed, she shall be led away captive, she shall be brought up, and her maidens shall lead her as with the moaning of doves, beating upon their breasts. 8. Though Nineveh was of old like a pool of water, yet they shall flee away. Stand, stand, shall they cry, but none shall look back. 9. Take the spoil of silver, take the spoil of gold, for there is no end of treasure or wealth out of all the precious things. 10. She is empty, and void, and waste, and the heart melts, and the knees strike together, and much pain is on all sides, and the faces of them all grow pale. 11. Where is the dwelling of the lions, and the feeding place of the young lions, where the lion, even the old lion, walked, and the lion's cub, and none made them afraid? 12. The lion did tear in pieces enough for his cubs, and strangled for his lionesses, and filled his caves with prey, and his dens with torn flesh. 13. Behold, I am against you, says the Lord of hosts, and I will burn her chariots in the smoke, and the sword shall devour your young lions, and I will cut off your prey from the earth, and the voice of your messengers shall no more be heard. Chapter 3. Great wickedness of Nineveh. 1. Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery, the victim departs not, to the noise of a whip, and the noise of the rattling of the wheels, and of the prancing horses, and of the jolting chariots. 3. The horseman lifts up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of dead bodies, and there is no end of their corpses, they stumble over the corpses. 4. Because of the multitude of the harlotries of the seductive harlot, the mistress of sorceries, that sells nations through her harlotries, and peoples through her sorceries. 5. Behold, I am against you, says the Lord of hosts, and I will uncover your skirts over your face, and I will show the nations your nakedness, and the kingdoms your shame. 6. And I will cast abominable filth upon you, and make you vile, and will make you a spectacle. 7. And it shall come to pass, that all they that look upon you shall flee from you, and say, Nineveh is laid waste, who will bemoan her? Where shall I seek comforters for you? Nineveh is compared to No. 8. Are you better than No Ammon, that was situated among the rivers, that had the waters round about it, whose rampart was the sea, and her wall was the sea? 9. Ethiopia and Egypt were her strength, and it was without limit, Put and Lubim were your helpers. 10. Yet was she carried away, she went into captivity, her young children also were dashed in pieces at the head of all the streets, and they cast lots for her honorable men, and all her great men were bound in chains. 11. You also shall be drunk, you shall be hidden, you also shall seek refuge from the enemy. Weak strongholds of Nineveh. 12. All your strongholds shall be like fig trees with the first ripe figs. If they are shaken, they shall even fall into the mouth of the eater. 13. Behold, your troops in the midst of you are women. The gates of your land shall be set wide open unto your enemies, the fire shall devour the bars of your gates. 14. Draw your water for the siege, fortify your strongholds, go into the clay, and tread the mortar, make strong the brick kiln. 15. There shall the fire devour you, the sword shall cut you off, it shall eat you up like the locust. Make yourself many like the locust, make yourself many like the swarming locusts. Weak captains of Nineveh. 16. You have multiplied your merchants more than the stars of heaven, the locust plunders, and flies away. 17. Your princes are like the locusts, and your officials like the great grasshoppers, which camp in the hedges on the cold day, but when the sun arises they flee away, and their place is not known where they are. 18. Your shepherds slumber, O king of Assyria, your nobles shall dwell in the dust, your people are scattered upon the mountains, and no man gathers them. 19. There is no healing of your bruise, your wound is grievous, all that hear the report of you shall clap their hands over you, for upon whom has not your wickedness passed continually?